Hello everyone, welcome to week 6, the last week in the 6-week series of the lawn recuperation, renovation, however you want to label it, since the workers dug that massive trench right through the middle of our garden. I'm glad to say after 6 weeks of not so much hard work, bit of patience, but some really good quality products going down, that the lawn, you wouldn't even know the workers were here if you were look at the lawn, and you'll see that when we go on a little lawn walk in a little while. So we're all done. We're really happy with the grass, how it's all come back. Remember, we've done some seeding, we did some turfing, we've put some humic acid down, we've done some kelp, and then it'll be time to fertilise soon. So there's 3 things we're going to look at today. We're going to do a quick lawn walk just so you can see the final product. We're also then going to look at planning lawn care treatments over the year, because I think that's what catches a lot of people out when you suddenly realise you need to put fertiliser down because your grass is looking tired and worn out. So we're going to look at how we plan those fertiliser treatments and just the general lawn care activities like scarification, aeration. And we've got a free lawn care calendar for you to look at, so I'll go on the website and show you where you can download that from and talk you through how we've built that. And then finally, I'm going to cut the lawn today, but it's a little bit different. Yes, we are with the rotary mower, but I'm trying to lower the level of cut because in a couple of weeks I want to do really hard scarification, aeration, and overseeding of my lawn, so I need to kind of drop the cut down. It has been cut quite long for me over the last few weeks while let the grass kind of regenerate, but now I'm going to take it down to level 2. Might require a couple of cuts, but I'll show you those issues as they arise. But to start with, let's go and cut the lawn. So just really quickly, I've cut the lawn. It's a bit wet today, but I know it's raining all day tomorrow, so I've had to get the lawn cut. I'm also trying to get the level down from level 3 to 2 on the mower. And what that's caused today are these almost like little windrows. Got a lot of grass just lying around on the top. Now, if I do this regularly, it's going to cause an excessive thatch layer, stop the nutrients getting down to the soil. But actually today I'm okay with it because I'm going to let the wind dry. Let the wind dry the grass for an hour and then come back out and cut it again in the opposite direction, and it'll all be fine. I am trying to get the grass shorter for a SCARIFY in a couple of weeks' time. That's one of the challenges we have with rotary mowers in general, is they're quite hefty chunks down. You go down from like level 5 to 4 to 3 and they're big chunks down, so you don't have as much control as you would with something like the Atco, the cylinder mower, where you can reduce it by kind of like a millimetre at a time. So that's just one of the challenges, but as long as you don't do it all the time, it'll be absolutely fine. Growing conditions are good, it's warm, it's wet, there's plenty of nutrients in the soil, so the grass won't struggle, even though I have today taken more than a third off, but that's part of the course. It's what I've got to do to get the grass short for the SCARIFY in a few weeks' time, but I thought I'd show you that halfway through the cut. Well, there we go, it's the end, week 6, mission accomplished. Considering what it was at the start of week 1, huge trench running from there all the way down here to get to the soil pipe, all the way down there, and it stopped around about here. What, 2 metres deep pretty much. And we had all the spoil which was being kept on OS boards all the way over there, and this grass looked really dead and horrible on the big trench. So to get it back to that after just 6 weeks without putting any fertiliser down, it's brilliant. We put the humic acid down and the kelp. That was really to help the grass get the nutrients out of the soil that was already there, because we put 3-month fertilisers down, so the nutrient was already in the soil. I just had to help the grass kind of collect it from the soil, if you like. But all this down here, all here, was all new turf. That's gone down. It's a bit bumpy, it's a bit bobbly because the contractors have put it down, nothing a top dress won't solve. You can almost see here how it kind of knits in together. There was a little depression there which has been filled in, but then all of this area here had pretty much died away, all that grass. It looked horrible and brown because the OS boards had been on top of it for 3 weeks and it had no rain, no sun, and that sprung back really nicely. And then something else to show you down here. I can't actually see where it was, but this is where we did the seeding. I think it's this bit here. This is where we put down the seed mixture a couple of weeks ago. And you can see that is literally 2 weeks. And it's, you wouldn't even know. And that's the same with all the patches over the garden. So it's looking brilliant actually. It's looking really good. We've got the stripes running this way. As you change view, we've got the stripes coming back that way as well. The centre of the garden. This is where we had some of the overburden poured, and then we turfed on top of it. And then we had the sections around the outside that was overseeded, topsoiled. So that's all done now. It's looking good. A couple of sections under the trees looking a bit bare, but I'm about to top dress that anyway and overseed that kind of down here, and certainly under the willow, which I only cut back last week. That should be okay. But now looking back at the rest of the garden, it looks pretty good. That's all rotary mower as well, no cylinder mower, that died. So this is all rotary mower. So I'm pretty happy with that. Ready now for a top dress in a couple of weeks' time. SCARIFY overseed top dress. Pull out the dead grass and thatch and put some new grass down ready for next year really. But also all the nutrients is in the soil. We're coming up to autumn feed time, 15-1-15, the equinox. Spring and autumn fertiliser, we'll be putting that down in a couple of weeks' time. It's got loads of nitrogen to give it a bit of growth. It's got loads of potassium to make it like nice and hardy. Use the water that's available. Obviously we've already got the wetting agent down there. Put that down, Satagran. That went down kind of midsummer, along with the seaweed treatment, Sea of Green. But there you go. I think from week 1 to 6, considering what it did look like to what it looks like now, I think we've done all right. So to access the lawn care calendar, the free Mowd lawn care calendar, to help guide you through your lawn care over the year, just type in our web address www.mowd.uk. You'll end up on our homepage over here. You can check out some of our subscriptions, whether it's right for you, what the process is, and particularly down here why we stand by granular for the home, for the domestic use. But if you want the calendar, drag over here, come to more. Check out the blogs if you want to, but actually it's the product support and FAQ section you want to go to. And at the top here, you'll find a little box. Just get the names typed in there, put your email address in there too. Agree to the terms of use. You can open up the terms of use and have a read there. It's basically allowing us to contact you when you give us your details, and then hit submit. What that's going to do is it's going to send you an email. All you need to do then is log on to your emails, click the link, and you'll download the PDF. And the PDF is our lawn care treatment calendar. So once you've downloaded the lawn care calendar from your emails, the link sent to you in your emails, you will open up, it's a PDF file. You can open it up, print it off, put it on your fridge, put it in your workshop, whatever you think you need to go. Save it on your phone actually, so it's always a good way, it's always handy. But then you've got all the information you need here for a good year of lawn care. So the calendar's split into 2 parts. We've got the lawn care packages and the fertiliser treatments that we offer at Mowd up the top, and then the general garden maintenance at the bottom. So let's first look at the general garden maintenance and mowing. So mowing generally between April and kind of October. Now this does depend on the weather. Sometimes you can have a really mild March and you might see the grass starting to grow. By all means, get it out and have a chop on the grass. And actually some people will cut through the winter. You just need to know what you're doing. Don't go cutting the grass while you're having frosts. That will cause bruising, and actually it will really encourage disease to creep into the lawn. And what you definitely don't want to do in the winter is cut it too short, or cut it while the lawn is too wet. Couple of reasons there. You'll be creating compaction if the top layer of soil is too wet. But not only that, if you've got a rotary mower, the water that's on the blade, especially if the blade's a bit long, adds this resistance, and the mower kind of chugs in it, and it slows the RPMs down, and it just starts tearing grass. And again, that can be even worse for the grass in terms of encouraging disease. So generally keep it to kind of April and onwards. Cut in once a week between April and May, where you start to notice the lawn starts to wake up, it starts to green a little bit, and the rate of growth starts to increase. And then into June, July, August, you want to be cutting twice a week, really. Sounds like a lot, but what you got to bear in mind is you never want to take more than a third of the sward length away. That's really important because it can just stress. You imagine the leaf, the sward is actually where a lot of the plant actually generates its energy through its photosynthesis, and if you take the sward away, you're taking away the ability of that grass plant to provide its own energy and resistance to disease and so on. So you really want to be careful about how much you take off. So regular mowing is far better. We've done a little bit on rotary versus cylinder mowers as well, so take a look at that video a little later. But generally twice a week through here. Now, again, avoid cutting the grass too short. A lot of garden owners do it. They want a really tidy lawn, so they cut it short. You can have a short lawn if you're willing to put the work in with herbicides and lots of treatments, but generally a longer lawn will look kind of better. If you're cutting anywhere between 30 and 40 mil, that's a really solid length to be cutting your lawn. And you may continue again beyond November if it's really mild. Again, just be careful of what I mentioned about cutting grass in the winter. Aeration then is really important, absolutely key to get aeration done. Hollow tine or solid tine can be done with a garden fork. Hollow tine, you can hire a machine, or you can just use one of the hollow tine aerators that you just stamp into the ground. And it's really key because it allows the air, it allows moisture, and it allows nutrients to penetrate beyond the surface of the soil right down into the root zone, and it can also relieve compaction. It just gives room for the roots to grow. You really will notice a difference if you start to aerate your lawn. Once a year is really important. I do mine twice a year, especially if you've got high traffic areas you want to be looking at. Now, it's careful. You want the ground to be soft, so you can actually penetrate the ground with the tine, but actually what you don't want to do is do aeration when it's really dry, because then those holes that you create will just end up drying out the soil surface even more than normal. So just time it, make sure you got a little bit of rain coming. If you've got good weather and it's not too hot and you have a bit of water, then the tine should really be recovering within kind of 7 to 10 days. Really, you shouldn't see the holes anymore. But it is really important to aerate. Do it at the end of the year if you choose instead. But scarifying, I'd say, is the single most important action you can take, second behind mowing, of course. But scarifying will remove all of the grass that has died and just fell onto the thatch layer that year. Lots of organic matter, and it almost acts like a barrier, and it prevents the rain getting down to the soil. It prevents all those fertilizers you're putting down. It prevents the air getting down to the root structure. So you really want to scarify at least once a year. Really nice, hard, deep scarification to remove all that thatch and the dead grass, which creates the room for you to put new, fresh seed down. Now, you can scarify more than once a year. It depends how hard and how deep you want it to go. You can just do some light scarification if you've already got a really high quality lawn, but generally you want to get the moss up, so it's a nice deep scarification. That'll usually follow off the back of something like our turf rise, weed, feed and moss killer treatment, but I'll come back to that in a little while. And then seeding. Every year you want to be adding some new seed to your lawn. We call it overseeding, roughly 35 grams per square metre. Really great way to keep new grass growing every year, maybe twice a year, and it just keeps your lawn looking in absolutely mint nick, because grass does die and you do have to replace it every so often. So that's the general garden maintenance. If we look now at the lawn care packages at the top here, Equinox fertilizer is what we will recommend for springtime and also for the autumn time. It's a 15-1-15 mix. That's 15% nitrogen, 1% phosphorus and 15% potassium. The nitrogen in the spring is just giving the lawn the nutrients it needs to wake it up out of hibernation from the cold, long winter, and actually gets that grass growing and greens it up. A little bit of magnesium in there. We also put a bit of seaweed in the Equinox fertilizer as well, just to start improving that soil structure. But the important thing in our Equinox fertilizer is the 15% potassium. Now that is really important for disease resistance, certainly going into winter this side. It will help against those frosts. So it's a really important fertilizer that we use at the start and at the end of the year. Equinox fertilizer. Right, so then we move into the Feels Like Summer fertilizer. This is our special summer blend. It's a 12-3-9, so that's 12% nitrogen, 3% phosphorus, and 9% potassium. Again, potassium for that disease resistance, but potassium in the summer will also help the plant use the moisture that's available to it in a much more efficient way. That's why we keep the potassium in there. Phosphorus to start pushing good root development and root growth from the overseeding that you would have done in kind of May time. And then again, 12% nitrogen, high nitrogen, but on a slow release. So it's going to keep pushing that nitrogen over the entire 3 months of that summer, just like the Equinox fertilizer, nice and slow released. And then so that's what you'll get if you are on the basic subscription package. 3 fertilizers sent to you at the right time of year, in March, in June, and in September. You put them down when they turn up at your door. You put the whole pack down because we send you the exact amount for your lawn. It is completely carefree lawn care. Now, if you want to just step up a little bit and you want to go into the Level Up subscription, then you'll also receive our Turf Rise, Feed, Weed and Moss Killer. Now, you'll receive that in May. This is not a slow release fertilizer. This is a 4 to 6 week treatment. Reason for that is it's going to be fast acting on the weeds and fast acting on the moss. So you'll get a lovely weed kill effect, kind of 7 to 10 days. Those weeds will start to kind of curl up and die away. And then also the moss will turn will turn black. It won't turn thick, it will go thin, it will turn black. That will correlate with your scarification in May. So really good step up if you want just a little bit better lawn. You can get the weed, feed and moss killer treatment. And then finally, if you want the very best of lawns, the one that all of your neighbours will be envious of and ask you how you have such a good lawn, then that's going to be the extra 2 treatments we're going to send out in June, would be the Sea of Green seaweed meal and also the Satigram wetting agent. Again, both granular, because we stand by the granular application method, certainly for domestic use. And now the seaweed meal is going to go down into the soil and it's going to assist with the soil structure. It helps retain a little bit of moisture, yes, but primarily this is about the structure of the soil, enabling the plant to draw the nutrients out of the soil, all those nutrients from those fertilizers, the Equinox and the Feels Like Summer and the Turf Rise. If you apply seaweed, you're just going to improve the performance of those fertilizers even further. And the wetting agent, again, granular, you put it down, and what that's going to help do is it's going to help the water that falls either via rain or sprinkler to actually penetrate the top surface of soil and get down to the root zone and actually retain it in the root zone, which is going to be brilliant over those longer, drier summer months that we're having. So those are the 3 lawn care subscriptions. You have basic, Level Up and advanced. One there for everybody, doesn't matter what you're trying to achieve, and they all have exactly the same principle. They're all granular. We send you the exact amount at the right time of year. All you've got to do is put it all down. If you want to subscribe, you can always just scan the QR code in the bottom left hand corner. You can go to www.mowd.uk, or you can get hold of us on any of the social media platforms or email us at socials@mowd.uk. So there we go, end of this week's video again, week 6. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more today. Spent a lot of time looking at the free calendar that you can download from our website, because it's a brilliant resource, and if you've got that plan in and the products have arrived and they're ready to put down, then it makes everything much easier. It takes the hassle away from having to decide which product to buy, which one's right for the time of year, how much of it to put down. We take all of that stress away by providing you with the subscription lawn care service. Next few weeks, I'm going to be looking at the scarification aeration. We'll be doing a video on that, and we'll get really in depth about what we're trying to achieve and how we go about it. Don't forget, the website hasn't just got the fertilizers and lawn care plans. We've actually got plenty of Hyundai lawn mowers, hedge trimmers, etc. If you need a really good quality mower this autumn or moving into next spring, then take a look at our website. We've got some quality rotary mowers that are capable of mulching. We've got electric, battery powered, petrol, and they've also got rollers on as well, so you can have one like the mower that I've got that'll actually put those stripes in the lawn. So head over to our website, www.mowd.uk, take a look at those. And while you're there, take a look at the subscription packages we have for offer. We've got the basic plan. If you just want to get your lawn to a decent standard, we've got the level up plan if you need to apply some weed and moss kill, and then we can take you right up to the advanced plan, which is really advanced nutrition, yet still really easy to apply and put down, and that'll give you the added benefit of a wetting agent and the Sea of Green seaweed meal treatment. If you like the video, give us a big thumbs up this week. Really helps us with getting our videos out there and getting them in front of more people on YouTube. And as well, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so we can push our videos to you, because the next few weeks and months we've got some really interesting review videos coming. We're going to review some different lawn mowers, spreaders, different things like that to help you achieve the best lawns that you possibly can. So share this on social media as well, let your friends see it. And if you want to see last week's video, because you might have missed it, then click up here for week 5. If you want to see the entire playlist, then we've created that for you and you can click down here. But apart from that, we hope you enjoyed this series and we'll see you next time.